Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens. I'm the author of the 10 Human Academy series, and this is English Nerd. Today I want to talk about writing romance. So this is going to pertain to any romance that you might write, whether it be a subplot or the main genre of the book that you are currently working on. So here are some things to keep in mind, no matter where you fall on that spectrum. Pretty much all of my examples are going to come from young adult fantasy, because that is currently the world that I'm living in as a young adult fantasy author. So let's dive in. Some tips for writing some swoon-worthy, ship-worthy romance. Number one is make each person a whole person. So no matter what this couple is going to look like, even if you're completely from one person's point of view, make sure that both people are complete characters, that we don't have just a cardboard cutout on one side and a fully fleshed out human being on the other. You don't want somebody just to be the love interest without having anything going on in their own lives. You can only really ship a couple when you like them both, when you feel like they're both people. So make sure that you spend some time figuring out what the love interest is like, without and beyond being just that love interest. Somebody who does this very nicely is Marissa Meyer in her Lunar Chronicles quartet, I guess. Every person is very fleshed out and individual before they start kind of pairing off in their different ways, and so it's much easier to get behind the pairings because you already like them both. Number two, let them improve each other and help each other. So what you want to establish at the beginning of your story, so whether this is a romance that you're writing or just, again, a romantic subplot, you want it to be clear that that nobody's perfect, obviously, and that these people are going to help fill some of those holes in each other. They're going to help heal something. They're going to help fill a deficiency of some kind. What you see in work like Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo is you have Kaz and Inej. And they know each other, they've known each other for a while, of course, and Kaz is used to just being heartless, having this armor up all the time, and Inej is the one who can help him to be more vulnerable and be more human. And he provides her with a sense of adventure, and he's so intelligent that he keeps everything very interesting and keeps her at her best as well. So what you want to do is find what are those things in the different characters that could be improved by the other. This is something that really unlocked how the romances were going to work in my series. Romance was not something that I had really written well, at least in the past, and so I spent some time thinking, how can these characters really complement one another? So take some time and figure that out. What is it that they provide for each other? How do they help one another to become better? So tip number three is very closely related, and that is make your love interests actually enjoy each other's company, actually like each other. I know that there is a whole genre practically out there of people who don't truly like each other, but are just so attracted to each other that they cannot stay away. And honestly, of course there can be that attraction and there can be all of that, but if they don't actually enjoy each other's company, it's going to be hard to ship them in a long-term kind of way, beyond just a one-night stand. And so even if it's a hate-to-love kind of relationship, make sure that it's hate to love, that it's not just hate all the way through, with this attraction thrown in, because although there is an audience for it, I'd lie if I said that weren't the case. I just think that the best romances don't they just don't do that. I mean, think about real romance, real people that you see really making it through old age even. It's the people who enjoy each other's company, the people who can banter together, the people who enjoy certain things, that share some interests. So although they should be different enough to fill each other's deficiencies and help each other, they ought to be similar enough to enjoy one another as well. Okay, number 4. In order to really get the romance going, I think that you need to show and not tell. I know this is a super cliche kind of recommendation, and there are times when it's okay to tell, but one of those is not when people are falling in love. You don't want to say, she was falling for him, or you want to show it. You want people to experience it along with them. That's largely why people like these romantic subplots and romance genre in general, is to experience those things along with the protagonist. And so a really great way to do that is to catch yourself whenever you start writing, oh, she liked him so much, and instead have some kind of physical reaction. You don't need to explain what the physical reaction is. If you say that her cheeks warmed, or her gut was in knots, or she lost feeling in her hands, then we know that she's feeling nervous, right? So consider, how can you just show that these people are into one another instead of telling? One additional perk to this is that you can start to show that these people are falling in love even if they're not aware of it. The audience could go, ooh, I know what that means, and even if your character interprets the flaming cheeks and the twisted stomach in a different way, your audience will go, ooh, I know what's happening, and it gets them more invested in wanting to see those two together, because they really do bring out these reactions in one another. So you want to use that great imagery for when they're close to one another, and of course, you know, if they're kissing or whatever, you want to use that good imagery then as well, just to bring the audience in so they can really feel what's going on. Okay, number 5. Speaking of the kissing, you want to make them wait. If you jump the gun too quickly, if you have people meet and immediately just get physical with one another or hook up, then you lose so much of that shippability. You want to make your audience want it. The more they want it, the longer they want it, then the better it's going to be when there actually is that moment, when they get together, when they confess their feelings for one another, when they, whatever it is that kind of shows that they are meant to be together. They confess in one way or another that they really have liked each other. So give a couple near misses, tease the audience a little bit. Make sure that they almost kiss, or they touch hands and then pull them away, or they catch each other looking, or give all these hints, but don't actually make them get together until later on. That would be my strong suggestion, because then if the audience really wants it, then they will be even happier when it happens and even more likely to ship those characters together. So my last point is something that I think is just an incredible rule of thumb. It's something that I saw probably on Pinterest, but it is a great piece of advice, and it is, does your couple pass the kiss test? Can you tell that these people like each other and that they'd be good together without having them kiss? Too often we see movies where there's really no chemistry, like at all, and then people kiss and you go, oh, okay, well, I guess they're together now. But you want the kiss to be more of a fulfillment of something that people already see than confirmation that they like each other. So if your characters are kissing and you can't really tell before that they're into each other, then you need to do something differently. You need to back up and make sure that you've done some of these other things ahead of time. You've shown that they enjoy each other's company. You've shown that they fill something within the other one. You want to make sure that both characters are fully fleshed out, that we can see how they would be a good fit for one another. Use that strong imagery, make us see and feel and hear the way that they're into each other, and then the kiss can be a great fulfillment of that kind of promise that you've been building up to. So that's my suggestion. If you're participating in NaNoWriMo 2020, best of luck to you. I hope that these tips were helpful. And make sure to like this video. If you like it, subscribe for more English nerdy goodness, and I will see you on Monday. All right, bye.